just a second here. See, this will be available for those later if you're not starting right now. But I wanted to share some messages before I started cycling. And my voice is super low and sexy right now. All right. So these messages were really relevant to me on my journey, and I'm hoping that they will resonate with other people. So the aspects we love in other people are aspects we have in ourselves. Loving someone else is mirroring. A mirror of yourself is because you love someone that has a lot of things you have that you may not be able to see in yourself. Loving someone else is an extra because at the end of the day, you have power within you. What is self-love and self-care for you? It changes. It's something you work on every day. I'm learning to work on that every day. It evolves and is important. It is a seed you plant that is growing. Give space for yourself. Honesty. You're not scared of hurting someone because you come from a place of integrity to speak your truth. If someone cannot handle it, that's their problem. It's not about them. It's about you holding on to an idea of what you want other people to be. Now, some of this is coming from a guy named Phil Good, and I follow him on Instagram, and he speaks much positivity and wisdom that really resonates with me. So if you're holding on to an idea of what you want other people to be, you want them to be something that you are not, that they're not, and that is hurting you. The reason it's hurting you is because you are trying to control the situation. You are avoiding having to deal with your own emotions. You're avoiding having to face yourself. Your infinite potential is not out there, it's inside of you. Everything else is a distraction. What are you doing that is not helping you? Are you talking to people behind their back? Are you holding on to an old version of someone who wasn't giving you what you needed? Or a family member who was not showing up to meet your expectations? Can you release that control? Can you accept that the universe is trying to get your attention to connect to your infinite potential? So I'm going to start cycling and read some highlights from my Learning How to Learn Metaphysics lesson 5A. But I just thought those were really insightful for what I'm going through, and maybe other people are going through too. But the things we love about other people are the things we need to see in ourselves. Learning how to learn. We tend to see the world as we are. Thought is all important, for as we think, so we become. Your thoughts of today create the you of tomorrow. What causes fear? Ignorance. Your will and attention open your awareness to new learning and banish ignorance of self, thereby eliminating fears, doubts, and limitations. Stubbornness is not to be confused with willpower. Stubbornness is a decision to remain just as you are, just where you are. Stubbornness is deciding against producing change, growth, and forward motion. Stubbornness is a refusal to create. The refusal to exercise imagination, the beginning of all disease in mind and body, for it is a denial of the infinite intelligence coursing through you. The self-aware individual draws strength from the source of creation. I call God, others call other names. Such a one affirms, I am a creator. I make my own destiny. A creator knows the secret of creation, resides in the capacity to transform. It is said that villagers told Gautama of a mad murderer who had killed 999 people. The murderer's vow was to kill 1,000 people because society had not treated him well. Everyone was avoiding the man, but Buddha realized the man's need. He was willing to take the risk, saying, either he will kill me, or I will kill him. When Gautama approached him, the madman saw his innocence, his beauty, and thought, this man seems absolutely unaware I am here. It is not good to kill this man. I'll leave him and find somebody else. He urged the Buddha to stop. Gautama, having mastered his ego, knew the secret to motivation and said, I have heard you need one person to fulfill your vow. As far as this body is concerned, my goal is achieved. This body is useless. You can use it, kill me. But before you do, grant me one thing. Curious, the madman asked what the one thing might be. Gautama asked the madman to cut off a branch of a nearby tree. When severed, he said, now join it again to the tree. The madman was certain the monk was a madman. You know perfectly well I can cut, but I cannot join. The Buddha laughed. When you can only destroy and cannot create, you should not destroy. Destruction can be done by children. There is no bravery in it. This branch can be cut by a child, but to join it, a master is needed. It is said at that moment the madman was forever transformed. Do not condemn the world for its imperfections. Rather, surpass your current understanding. Use your newly awakened will to help the world and aid in its upward progression. Strengthen the world with harmonious wisdom thoughts, rather than weakening it with negativity. The law of service, which is a human law, is secondary and correlated to the law of self-interest or self-preservation, which can be termed selfishness. No sane man ever does anything without a reason. No action is performed without reference to a direct or an indirect thought, which is selfish. It is good to share your learning with others. Giving service is indispensable to receiving service. To serve others by giving mental, moral, or financial help is to find self-satisfaction. Service always includes the self. If you knew that your own soul would be lessened by aiding others, would you serve others? Of course not. Therefore, expect and claim a tenfold return for any service freely given to others. It is time to resurrect the basic spiritual practices that tune us into the essence of life. Do not allow your ego to keep your consciousness separate from that which gives it life. We can live in harmony with the Creator. Individuality can best be fulfilled in unity. You need to eat your breakfast. Hey, you need to eat your breakfast. I need to come draw. What did I say? How to think positively. Your ego is as strong as your beliefs are. These are not the kind of beliefs that are more aptly described as opinions, like, I believe I'll wear a coat today instead of my sweater, or I believe I'll accept that new job offer. You have a new paper right there. Your ego, your sense of identity, is based upon gut level beliefs so deep-seated that most people remain unaware of them, yet they too often separate us from one another. These beliefs are the underpinnings of the way you think and feel about yourself and the world. You always get what you deserve. Time is running out. Good always wins in the end. Such and such runs in the family. Everyone has a special purpose in life. These are the kinds of beliefs that run your life until you bring them into your conscious awareness. That's one of the greatest benefits of your ego. Your ego motivates you towards self-awareness every moment, every day. Okay, dude.
I keep using
Are you using my favorite pencil?
Yeah.
These configurations of ego, memory, will, imagination make up the physical you. Every life experience is a lesson waiting to be learned. A lesson is learned when you recognize that every experience you have in life benefits you in some way, and you are thankful for that lesson. Sometimes this may seem difficult, but it is always possible. Feelings that you keep stirred up and defensive when you can no longer do anything about the situation from which they spring are out of date. Yesterday's experiences are over. You cannot change the time you woke up this morning, but you can change how you think and feel about it. If you slept longer than desired and you're upset about it, you need to change your mind, or your frame of mind will color your entire day. Sounds simple. How do we do it? This is how to transform negative thinking into positive thinking. The change begins with forgiveness and is completed when the lesson in the experience has been learned. Life is a learning process. You probably already believe this. You may or may not realize that this outlook means you can't fail. Experiences we label failures are experiences of non-learning. Every experience in life is a part of a lesson. Until you learn that lesson, you will have the opportunity to repeat it. Yay! How many times do you deny a compliment before you receive it graciously? How many times will you work for the same kind of boss before you will learn to cooperate? When you keep repeating the same unwanted scenario over and over, gaining and losing spouses, having the same kind of boss, running out of time and money, it's time to learn something you haven't figured out yet. Keep refusing, and you will bring about pain, sickness, and eventually death. Disease, dis-ease, is the result of being stuck in a particular lesson. Being stuck in a particular lesson means you are staying the same. Your ego is not evolving. The reason it is difficult to forgive ourselves is it means giving up our chance to get even. Forgiveness replaces revenge. Forgiving is the first part of learning from an experience. It is said forgiving is good for the soul, probably because it expands our concept of who we are. We are more than a physical body, a conscious mind, a young girl or elderly man, a wealthy business owner, or unexpected hero, or promising rising star. We are more than what the outside world sees, and our ego now knows it. Forgiveness doesn't change the situation. It changes you, your memory of the situation, and how that memory is affecting your consciousness and your sense of well-being now. You forgive for your sake. When you forgive another person, your forgiveness doesn't affect him or her any more than your hate or animosity does. And it talks about a 5-step, 5-day reversal concentration to practice daily, where you start from the present moment and remember 5 distinct activities. They don't have to be big. 5 activities you did in that day, going back in reverse from the day. And you do that about 5 days prior. Not gonna lie, it's very challenging to think what I did on Tuesday, how that was different from Wednesday. And they don't have to be different activities, but it's challenging to remember that far back. But once you've done that, you will find your ability to concentrate in detail is enhanced. This is the time to solve the problem, to turn the problem over to your subconscious mind, and to be consciously receptive for a solution. The answer may come immediately, or it may come later, during sleep, in the form of a dream. More on forgiveness, and a few words about gratitude. Forgiveness is more than an intellectual exercise. It is feeling on the level of those beliefs that form your ego. The peace you have missed for years replaces those feelings of hurt and revenge. You know the difference because you feel it. Forgiveness may take practice. Focusing on forgiving the person, not the deed, is the best place to start. Next comes the real learning in the experience. You must find some element of good for you in the negative experience. The purpose of finding the good in any experience is to learn from that experience. Every experience contains some good. Our growth comes in finding it. Sit quietly. Recall major occurrences in your life where you felt stressed. Select one situation. Actively find something good in that situation. The something doesn't have to be big and impressive, just good. Dwell on the good. Be thankful for the benefit you received. Feel the relaxing, peaceful effect when your focus moves from the old negativity to the new positive feelings. This is one way you can practice thinking positively each day. Another is thankfulness. Thankfulness feeds positive feelings about ourselves. It humbles the ego, causing honesty to enter into our consciousness. What happens when you receive good news? In the middle of the exhilaration, a feeling of thankfulness wells up within you. We are connected with self, others, and infinite being at that moment. The learning at these times is more easily accepted. Forgiveness and thankfulness are the foundation of a positive attitude. A positive attitude is the foundation of good self-esteem. Good self-esteem is a form of love, unconditional, in which you accept yourself, not because of who you are, or what you do, or what you know, or how you look. This acceptance comes not from the outer physical world, but from the realm of inner spirit, the domain of I am. Acceptance is opening the door to the inner levels of consciousness where the real you resides, timeless and eternal. Hello, Foxy. Foxy, I like your name. Ego and superconsciousness. Surrender yourself to that which will reveal your superconsciousness. Then devote your will to manifesting that superconsciousness. You will come to know yourself as a creator and the space you fill in creation. To do this is to know who you are as a being of light. When aligned with superconsciousness, imagination is the impetus for the flower of enlightenment to bloom. A concentrated imagination can be harnessed to produce a clear ideal. By imagining your desires and goals, you have reason for expanding your world. An effective imagination, teamed with will, can accomplish anything, including enlightenment. Imagination is how you upgrade your mental picture, how you improve your self-esteem. By strengthening imagination, reasoning is improved. One of the 3 factors of reasoning, imagination, is the impetus, I'm going to have to look up that word, for quantum leaps in awareness and growth. The second factor of reasoning is attention. Your undivided attention must be directed to the subject at hand to ensure the information from the experience will be retained for future use. Memory is the third factor in reasoning. With memory, you can draw upon mental pictures of past experiences and correlate them to present experiences. This enables you to utilize knowledge and wisdom previously gained. When these 3 factors are present, effective reasoning results. When coupled with the will, reasoning produces a mentally, emotionally, and physically successful individual. Without imagination, determination to progress and move forward deteriorates to a wish for life to remain the same. Life does not stay the same. You can expect change. This causes stagnation, leaving the individual as he is. This passivity is the mark of a weak mind. With the effective coordination of the will and imagination, you can become whoever you imagine. The person who falls into pretense, rather than causing creation to occur, settles for a poor substitute. Pretense will cause confusion in the mind of its practitioner, leading to excuses and rationalizations that divert the attention from weaknesses in self. Rather than attempting to appear strong, practice honestly confronting your limitations. Practice honestly confronting your limitations, transforming them into willpower and strength. To say to yourself and others, "I'm not capable or good," is self-sabotage. If you affirm to yourself, "I am no good," then you have to do no good things in order to please yourself and prove yourself to be right. When you say, "I am divine, my divine nature supports me and nourishes me and guides me," then naturally you will make fewer mistakes in life. Daily spiritual practices put us in contact with our divine nature every day, helping us to feel loving and creative and productive, constantly bringing the mind to learning, progression, and growth. The paper you will read twice every day this week reads, "I will find the good in every situation." It is time to accept self as a spiritual being. So for effective reasoning, we need imagination, attention, and memory. Effective reasoning. And with our will, we set goals with purpose, and through activity in reaching that or achieving your ideal is success. So we all need to find things attributes that we deem we want to be. Who do you want to be? How do you want to be better? It's not somebody else's fault. You're not reaching your goal. How can you see the good in every situation? How is your life transforming? It's hard not to be a control freak. And I'm also supposed to be trying to avoid using words such as not, and don't, and can't. Because when you say those words in a sentence, like, I'm not beautiful, you might be messed. That's not a good example. Whatever you're saying, your subconscious doesn't read the negative word. So you're saying, I'm not thinking of a good example. But if you're thinking in a negative way and you're speaking in a negative way, you are manifesting things that you do not desire. So thinking positively, we can focus on the good, the things we want in life. And I have a list of 10 things that I'm supposed to be working on. Things, trying to figure out what I want in life. It's challenging to come up with that list. For some, it might be easier. It's a challenging list to come up with 10. Could be material things you want, emotional ways you want to change. Like one of mine is to be more responsive instead of reactive. To slow down, think about a response before I just react out of haste. And another one is to read books or snuggle my kids before bed. That's something that's important to me. And I don't always do it, so I have to be better. Hey, quit. Colin, you're going to have to get out. Don't be screaming. Shh. Colin. Colin.
It was red.
Yeah, and people can hear you. That hurts their ears. Don't do that. I'm going to have to pick you up, throw you out. Colin, I mean it. Colin. You draw your pictures. You need to go eat your breakfast.
Okay.
Are you going to? Please go eat, and I'm going to eat it. When I get done,
I need to finish all of my...
Okay, finish it, and then please go eat.
My
I'm going to eat double breakfast. After I get done, I'll gobble it in one bite. Okay? Are you not hungry for breakfast?
I need to finish all my day.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to read this again because it's so good. The aspects we love in other people are the aspects we have in ourselves. Loving someone else is mirroring. A mirror of yourself is because when you love someone, they have a lot of things that you have that you may not be able to see in yourself. Loving someone else is an extra because at the end of the day, you have power within you. What is self-love and self-care for you? It changes. It's something you work on every day. It evolves and is important. It is a seed you plant that is growing. Give space for yourself. Honesty. You're not scared of hurting someone when you come from a place of integrity to speak your truth. If someone cannot handle it, That's their problem. It's not about them. It's about you holding on to an idea of what you want other people to be. You're gonna have to get up. Stand up. You can come back later. You can come back later. Dad? Come on, screaming. You need to eat.
No,
Yes.
I do not.
The reason it's hurting you is because you are trying to control the situation. You are avoiding having to deal with your own emotions. You're avoiding having to face yourself. Your infinite potential is not out there, it's inside of you. Everything out there is a distraction. What are you doing that's still not helping you? Are you talking about people behind their back? Are you holding on to an old version of someone who wasn't giving you what you needed? Or a family member who's not showing up to meet your expectations? Can you release that control? Can you accept that the universe is trying to get your attention to connect to your infinite potential? It's good. Good. Good stuff. Find the good in every situation. There's always something good. There is. In a very low point in my life, I came across metaphysics. I would not have known about my metaphysics class if it weren't for being in a mental health clinic. So I am working on myself, rebuilding, exploring spiritual truths and perspectives unlabeled by religion. They are fundamental truths, and they're brilliant. You cannot disagree with the lessons. If you go back and find my videos, I've been reading the lessons, and each builds upon the next. And I would like to do a series before I get too much further in lessons, because they've been so helpful to me. I think they can be helpful to others who don't know about it. They're like, yeah, I'm taking a metaphysics class. And they're like, oh, cool, yeah. I'm like, do you know what metaphysics is? I'm like, no. It's not about the physical world so much. It's about aligning our consciousness, what we do through our five senses, with our subconscious, our soul level subconscious, where our dreams are, and aligning even further up to the superconscious, where God, our creator, or whatever you want to call it, Allah, Brahma, Yahweh, Source. How can we align our minds with our purpose to be creators and create through our imagination? Because we're all connected. I believe that. And we're all experiencing life in different ways. And we have to break down our guards and our walls and our barriers that separate one another and make us feel separate. So whatever deep-seated beliefs you've grown up with, I had a good upbringing, but at the same time, I was very sheltered. So sheltered. We lived out in the middle of nowhere when I was in 3rd grade. That's an influential time in your life when you're developing emotionally, physically, spiritually, all the ways, mentally. So that's why I'm so driven to intellectual needs
because I don't need anybody else to fulfill my intellectual needs. I can do it on my own. And then when you get people involved, it's way more complicated, those relationships and finding balance. So I find love in finding order out of chaos. You need chaos in order to create order. Right, and I think it's more than doing things you enjoy, it's giving purpose for those things you enjoy. Because if you're doing something out of selfish need in an unhealthy way, like our lessons talk about, not just doing things because you enjoy them, but having a purpose, a good reason for doing those things. Not like 7 deadly sins of, I enjoy sleeping all day or watching TV all day. That's not a healthy thing to do. You're not growing and you're not connecting with others if you are living in a selfish way. Is it complicated? I just hope that one by one I can show love and support and truth and honesty to other people and be my true self and be comfortable in my true self, because I'm coming to terms with some things I don't like about myself. So I want to be honest with people and seek out people experiencing the same thing and try to understand it. And through that comes a lot of emotions and feelings that are irrational. I try to rationalize everything. And emotions are so irrational. It's like, what is wrong with my brain? And it's trying to tell you something. There's something going on. It's trying to tell you something. It's trying to get your attention. Right. Fear often drives us. And that's limiting. We're not being our best self if we're being driven by fear. Or trying to please others. You have to be honest with yourself and say, this is not working. It's time to move on. And it's not easy. Oh yeah, I've read his book. Let me think. What is his book? I did read that. I'm guessing the one you're talking about. Something about pain? Oh, You Can't Hurt Me. Yeah, I did read that. Gosh, it's been a few years now. I'm not sure if I remember a whole lot from it. But I did read it. Yeah. I've been reading a lot of books lately. For class, particularly, and also psychology stuff, psychiatric, just the nature of where I'm at. The nature of where we're all at. Psychology affects all of us. I mean, even social media and behavior data tracking, we are being manipulated unconsciously and somewhat consciously too. Psychology runs the world. Psychology is your sense of who you are, the person you accept yourself to be, your persona. Like, I'm a Enneagram 4, which is like, I'm unique, I'm an individual, I'm original. And with that I have a wing 3, which is the achiever. So whatever dreams, I want to make them a reality in the concrete world. So I have a little bit more social needs than just a 4 personality or Enneagram. Right, we are our own worst enemies. Right, yeah, that's what I'm doing. The stuff that's making me uncomfortable, I am pushing into it. Trying to communicate clearly, honestly, and with integrity, which comes through as being strong, but I'm really broken. Like, I can talk about it, but I'm still hurting every day. And it's because I allow myself to suffer because I don't believe I deserve something better. Like, I guess I don't believe in my own happiness and love. I just struggle to see that I deserve that. Oh my goodness, yeah. That's kind of how I am. I mean, working from home 5 years, I basically leave to drop off my youngest son and I get groceries. And I don't leave the house much. Here by myself during the day. And I want to be able to do things, and I don't have anybody to do that with that is available. But I maybe found somebody that I can do stuff with periodically now. And I'm working on some other ways. It's just going to take time to make those connections. Hobbies, all hobbies. Yeah, I'm thinking about joining the Y and doing some group classes. Yes, so joining the metaphysics class is helping a lot. It's something, basically the only thing keeping me going right now, because I have to be accountable for the class. And it's a choice for me to take the class. It's not through a university, it's like not structured in that way. So yeah, I'm trying to find some things. I don't want it to just be work related. I'm taking a step back from my business, and I don't necessarily want to go to a bunch of meetups for tech and WordPress. Like, I want other connections. I want to develop myself in more spiritual and emotional ways. And not just Christianity. I grew up with Christianity, and I'm not rejecting that at all from my perspective. And I feel like everybody's like, or my friends, are like, go to church, do church stuff. I'm like, yeah, I might consider it. But I also want a broader perspective too. I don't know, I guess, until I try some different things. Whatever I feel led to do, I'm going to do it. And whatever time frame that is, I am not predicting that. That's awesome. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to join the Y beginning of the year like every other person. That means there's more opportunities to meet people, right? If you go when everybody else is starting their resolutions, you're going to meet a whole lot more people. Boom. See the good in every situation. Every treadmill and elliptical is going to be full when you get there, but I'm going to be taking classes. I have never taken a class at a gym, because that's not my style. I'm a do-it-yourself, on your own person. But I am learning that I'm going to step out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to enjoy a class or multiple classes, and I'm going to make friends. Oh, I completely believe that other people feel it too. I mean, that's why I want to share this stuff, because Sometimes there's something in a message that you will remember that really stood out, and it's going to help you remember the next time something happens in your life. Yes. Oh yeah, I love talking to people. I feel like it's hard because when you have expectations for making friends, and if they only really become just acquaintances, it takes a special something to form a friendship in a proper give-take reciprocal balance that you both just are comfortable with one another. What is one obtainable goal? So I have my list of 10. One of those is reading to and snuggling my kids. You can check back. That's all that this class is about, though, is setting goals with purpose to achieve success. And this week, I need to start Christmas shopping. That's not related to my social life particularly. More family. Don't try. Agree. Gonna do it. It's all about I will do this. I reached my 5,000 goal well before end of year. I think that was last week. Yes, it does. It gives you, it's an excuse and a limitation. What's your goal for this week? Do you have one? Maybe your goal will inspire me. Ah, yes. It's true. That's right. When you're too loose with yourself, you're like, it's okay if I don't do it. And then you end up thinking about it and wasting time not doing it. And abuse of the ego, abuse and misuse of the ego to be making forward progress. I'd say one goal is to do all of my metaphysics exercises. Yesterday I skipped the candle exercise. So, this week, I will do all of my metaphysics exercises. That sounds wonderful. Yes, that is a good plan. That sounds fun. Hey, that's good. Must be the type of person that you can just talk to that you where you left off. Oh shoot. Hey, I lost 2 pounds too. We'll see if that stays off. Since I've gained 10 pounds, I've seen like no movement in the scale, which it's not about the number. Yay, someone else awkward. Well, I love you for being awkward because I'm awkward. Oh. All right, we'll meet and have a wonderful time with your friend. I'm planning to go to the art center with a new person. That's okay. Yeah, sometimes awkward silence is good, right? All right. Well, thanks for chatting and thanks for making me commit. It's all about commitment, right? Ooh, commitment's scary. Well, good. I hope in 2 years I will be more like you. You can be my ideal. Because we all need an ideal. I'm working on what is the ideal I want to be.
Yes. Do you do meditation? Things like that too? Gratitude? I did add meditation to my list of 10 things. So I need to get serious with myself. There's a lot of things on my list I need to get serious with. Yeah, I hear you. It's like you have so much time in a day, and how much of that gets wasted. When you do rest, you're not resting fully. We have to rest fully and be present in our work fully. And really, the main point there is being present in every experience, which is what I'm learning about. Yes. Yeah, we all have to clear our mind. There's so much. If there are 50,000 thoughts running through our mind each day with greater or lesser degrees of awareness, that is a lot. So one of my exercises is to gaze at a candle for 10 minutes. And I have to mark any distracted thoughts that not about the candle. So that shows me how distracted I am. Surprisingly, I think the last few times I've done it, it's been 10 or 11. I have gotten down to 4, but it takes a lot of mind control to focus your mind on one point of focus. Yes. Yeah. I'm realizing that I need to release control of other people. I need to understand that I cannot control another person or have expectations. In making new friendships, if someone does not respond to a message, then I just have to wait and think about other things and not worry about it. Because it's not about me. Everyone has things going on in their lives, some people more than others. And I have things going on in my life. I just spend more time in my head. That's not good. That's why I need things and to get out of my head. But it can't be a distraction either, because if you distract yourself constantly, that's not healthy. All right. You can try and fail or never try. Yes. Yes. I'm all about trying. And other people don't always see your failures. Yes. That's right. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Old basketball. And with basketball, you have to realize that you're not alone, and you work with others to reach a common goal. I think I wrote some quote that I came up with about that. We need the assistance of others to accomplish a common goal. That means cooperation, kindness, love. All right, you have fun. I'm sure I'll see you again, see your chats again, because I'm going to probably stream most days, maybe. I don't know now, because I reached my goal, but I do need to exercise still, and I enjoy the conversation. Case in point. All right, enjoy your weekend.